What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge, your Saturday edition. I'll tell you what, I wanted to get both of my guys on the screen here right now because, first off, you've probably seen enough of me already, but two, these guys are the brains of our college football operation. First off, let's take a look how we did on Friday. And 5-5. Awful from me, man. Guardians, we missed that one by the hook. The Blue Jays, they didn't put up a run. Awful there. Bowman came through on the Guardians' money line. Chip Patterson comes through. Nebraska Rutgers under 50.5. Fetch show, dude. That was a wild game. We're going to talk about that one here in a second. Nevada. And then Emory Hunt, dude. Our man just keeps coming through. Well done on UNLV, Hamilton Tiger Cats, and Cornell. So let's get to it, boys. First off, pleasure to see you as always. M Squared, how we doing, my man?
Good morning, AB. Jake, good to see you here. I'm doing great. I can't wait for this college football action today. Rocking the Vols here. I know you're happy to see that here. Can't wait for this game with LSU. I'm going to give a bonus pick here because I already gave this out on Twitter. I forgot to include it here, Twitter and Instagram, but I did play the under in the Tennessee LSU game. I like the under. I played it at 65. Quickly on it, I think the crowd will have a definite impact on this game in Death Valley. Jaden Daniels has improved a lot and given this LSU team a lot of hope, but he's done most of that through the ground where we keep the clock rolling quite a bit. Tennessee, great football team. I think that if there's a scenario where they do get out to a lead, they're able to kind of sit on the lead late in this game in this hostile road environment. I love this one here. I make this number 57. I like it a lot at 65.
Yeah, nice call, man. I 100% agree. And you look at, LSU's defense getting better by the week, and they're, they've shown that they're a second half defense. Yep. I think they've only given up 7 points in the second half of games this year. So, yeah, I think you're spot on with that one. My man, Fetch Show, coming live from the sun there. How we doing, buddy? You doing all right?
We're good. I stayed up till 2:30 a.m. watching that Nevada-Colorado State game, and my brain is melted. That might be one of the worst games I've ever seen. Nevada, they gave up two offensive miscues early in the game. Colorado State was up 14-0. Colorado State's quarterback had a negative 45 QB rating, and they were up 14-0. Nevada came back. Then they roughed the kicker on a field goal, and Colorado State's kicker, who never made a field goal more than 24 yards, won it. And my brain just exploded. So I'm ready for some good football today.
Yeah, I am too, man. I'll tell you this. I fell asleep last night, and Memphis was up 32-19. Memphis was a 2.5 point favorite. They're up 32-19 with 4 minutes left in the game. 4 minutes at home. I wake up, they lost. They lost. Like, what in the world, man? So I went back, and saw what happened in those last 4 minutes. I mean, craziness. But yeah, I couldn't believe that one. Like last night was nuts. So
yeah, I don't know if you had to pay me to watch either Thursday Night Football or that game again. I don't know if I could choose. Just neither.
It's a good point. Well, hey, get ready, man. You got Commanders and Bears coming next week. I know you're fired up for that one for sure. All right, let's get into the storylines that affect the betting lines for today. And I'll tell you what, Fettner, man, I'm going to throw it over to you real quick. Like, just kind of a quick look at the model, what you're seeing, for this week. Is it leaning heavy on totals? I know team totals have been a big thing. Spreads, anything that you see, outliers that we all need to know.
Yeah, team totals are definitely where it's at. Like Mike just said earlier, we like the under in the Tennessee game, but that's because we like LSU to score 7 points less than Vegas has them. We like Texas Tech to score 10 points less than Vegas has them. So I would look more at the model for the team total unders and team total overs rather than just the overs in general.
All right. Well said, sir. Well said. All right. Let's get into our picks for today. But before we do, let's take a quick break and hear from one of our partners. And we are back. All right. M Squared coming at you. You're always our leadoff hitter. My man is always getting on base. You got one play, college football. Bring it down.
Yeah, it's going to be a night game tonight here. We're going Kansas State on the money line, minus 120. Look, a lot of people like this play. Not terribly concerning for me. I think they have a pretty decisive edge offensively here with Deuce Vaughn and Adrian Martinez. I think Adrian Martinez, in terms of the market, everyone's kind of waiting for him to revert back to what we saw at Nebraska. Feels like this guy's been playing for 8 years, but he's definitely a different player this year. Looks incredibly comfortable in the Kansas State offense. Had a ton of success with his legs. Having him with the rushing ability and Deuce Vaughn in the backfield really helps them. This team should be undefeated. They've already had their one what the heck loss of the season, in my opinion, to Tulane. Look, I think they go in and get this job done. On the Iowa State side, yes, they have a pretty decent home field advantage in this matchup, but I'm concerned about their offensive ability and their ability to put points on the board against this level of competition. We saw them struggle and lose ultimately to Kansas last week. They've really struggled against the better Power 5 schools. Now they have Kansas State, a team, again, that should be undefeated. Say what you want about Oklahoma and their current state. They still beat Oklahoma. They beat Texas Tech, two offenses that can definitely put up points. We're going Kansas State here on the money line, minus 120. And I do not hate alternates if you want to play a minus 3.5 at plus money.
There we go. There we go. All right, now, Fetcho, you're going to be in the Maestro spot today. You're going to clean us up. However, I want to pull the recap screen up while you give your picks because you have a good amount and they're ranging, right? So I want to make sure that everybody can see it. So I'll go next. 3 plays from me. Tennessee at LSU. I'm going to take Tennessee the first quarter, minus half a point on the spread there. I'm going to take Tennessee first half, minus 1.5 on the spread. I think that Tennessee, especially coming off of a bye week, I think you're going to see a very scripted offense, which is good for what Josh Heupel and Hendon Hooker want to do coming right out of the gate there. It should be somewhat of a probably quick start for Tennessee. And as Mike laid out, I 100% agree with his game script and thought process on this game, that I think you're going to see scoring early and it kind of slows as we go through the game. So I'm going to play Tennessee first quarter minus half a point, Tennessee first half minus 1.5 points. My last play, Georgia, team total in the second half over 16.5. They're playing against Auburn. Georgia, quite frankly, the last 2 weeks really haven't been great for the Bulldogs. That being said, this is the oldest rivalry in the South. These two teams play each other every single year. These two teams and fan bases hate each other every single day of the year. But I think that Georgia is going to have their way with Auburn, both in the first half and in the second half. And with them running the football late in the game, running clock, it's not a bad play for them. Like, they still score in doing that. So we just need 2 touchdowns and a field goal in the second half. So Georgia team total second half over 16.5. All right, Fetch Show. You're in the Maestro spot. Bring us home. And everybody out there, like, I know Saturday is a pretty quick show. It's because we've pretty much done all of our college football work through the week. We have 90 picks that are coming at you in just 1 second. So, Fet, I'm going to pull up the recap screen for today. Let it rip, man. What you got?
So I'm going to start off with Cincinnati first half, minus 15.5 against USF. USF is the worst team in first half points differential at over, I think, minus 65 this season. Cincinnati's been really good in the first half. They're plus 63 over their last 4 games. It seems like USF's given up under Jeff Scott. Their players are quitting. I like the whole full game, but I like the first half a little better. Then I'm going to go with Bowling Green Buffalo over 54.5. I'm surprised it hasn't moved that much. This game totaled 100 points last year. Bowling Green has the 127th ranked scoring defense. Buffalo is at 104th, so not much better. Bowling Green's quarterback, Matt McDonald, looks like he's healthy. Their offense rolls when he's healthy. I like the over there. Then I'm going to go LSU team total under 30.5. This is kind of like Mike's play. I think LSU is going to struggle on offense. Jaden Daniels is very inconsistent. He's banged up. He's been using his legs a lot this season, but if his ankles hurt, his legs hurt, I don't think he could do much. It's also a 12 o'clock game. Might be a little offensive struggles early in the day. Then I'm going Vanderbilt team total under 21.5. I got this at under 22.5 earlier in the week. Ole Miss, that's against Ole Miss. Ole Miss in their last 10 games, they've held opponents under 21 points 9 times. Ole Miss's defense against Vanderbilt has held them to 21 or less in their last 3 games. They probably have their best defense this year over the last 3 games. Then I'm going to Virginia Tech, Pittsburgh under 42. These teams are really struggling offensively. Pitt just lost to Georgia Tech, couldn't do much against a really bad Georgia Tech team. Virginia Tech couldn't score against UNC, and UNC's defense, we've all seen, they've had plenty of holes. I think this is going to be an eyesore of a game. Give me under 42 there. And then I want to give a player prop. I know most states don't have player props, but for the states that do, I tweeted out a bunch this morning. I'm going Riley Leonard over 33.5 rushing yards. Our SportsLine Sims have him at around 51. He's reached that over 33.5 in all but one game this season. I think he'll use his legs against Georgia Tech, which I just said their defense has some holes. I like that.
There we go. All right, I'll tell you what. We've got 15 more picks coming after this, but first, let me run through these here. Mike McClure on Kansas State money line -120. Emory Hunt today is on Fordham -10. Lamar Incarnate Word over 67.5. Washington State +12.5. I am on Tennessee first quarter -0.5 point on the spread +105. Tennessee first half -1.5 at -105, and Georgia second half team total over 16.5, priced at -125. And that's on DraftKings. A couple other books there, but if you use DraftKings, yeah, you could find a lot of good second half team totals there. Jacob Fenders, he just said Cincinnati first half -15.5, Buffalo Bowling Green over 54.5, LSU team total under 30.5, Vanderbilt team total under 21.5, Virginia Tech Pitt under 42, and Riley Leonard of Duke over 33.5 rushing yards. Micah Roberts couldn't join us today, but he is on Illinois -3.5. And bam, how about another slide there of picks? Tom Fornelli on Kansas +7. He's also on Virginia Tech Pittsburgh under at 41.5. Iowa, Illinois under 36.5. Army +17. Jacob Fender from our Wednesday College Football Show. Western Kentucky team total over 32.5. Vanderbilt team total under 22.5. Buffalo Bowling Green, as he mentioned, over 54.5. Chip Patterson is on Duke -3.5. Oregon State first half -4. TCU Kansas over 67.5. Auburn team total under 9.5. My man is riding the lightning on that one. I'm fired up playing against Georgia to see that. North Carolina, Miami under 66. Texas A&M, Alabama over 51.5. And NC State -3.5. Whew. That's a lot of picks, boys. All right. So it's all the time we have for today, man. Like, quick show. I love them. These Saturday shows, some of my favorites. We can get in, get out, get our picks, and let it roll. So, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be live Sunday 3 times, 10 a.m. Eastern for our normal early edge show, 1 p.m. Eastern for our Sunday NFL kickoff show, and then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for our Sunday night football kickoff show. So join us for all 3 of those. But until then, everybody, best of luck. It's Cashy's Tickets. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.